Hello and welcome to MCUnhinged or MCUnhinged or however you want to pronounce it, as long as you type it correctly. I am your stupid fine podcast host, Tyler Rims. With me as always is the only obstacle on the path to peace. It's Shawn, A&T.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
And last but not least is someone who's also full of shit. It's Shibuya.
He's right. He's spitting facts.
This is a podcast where we talk about all the MCU movies, not all of them, a good bit of the MCU projects. And
Well, we're talking about all the movies. It's the other stuff that we're not covering all of.
It's a little. We're gonna do it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What is it? Stay tuned and find out.
Yeah.
But we also talk about all the connections. I track all the swear words because I hate myself, and we have a good time.
Until next week. Not next week, next time.
But this episode, we're covering Ant-Man.
Why'd you say it like that?
Ant-Man.
Ants.
Oh, yeah. Ants.
Ants.
Ant-Man. We made it.
It's my favorite fucking teaser for a movie they've ever put out. They've never topped the fucking Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd just slapping their thighs going ants.
I don't know. I really like the Team Daryl stuff.
The Team Daryl stuff is good.
It's not bad.
And he shows up in Love and Thunder. He's there.
Oh yeah, he is, isn't he?
I think I was the only one in theaters who actually paused when I saw him. It's like, yo, it's Daryl!
And everyone's like, shut up!
But they were talking about Ant-Man, which came out in 2015. At a runtime of 1 hour and 57 minutes. Directed by Peyton Reed after some creative differences with Edgar Wright. But also written by Edgar Wright. And then picked up by Joe Cornish and Adam McKay. At a budget of $169.3 million. With a box office of $519,311,965 worldwide. With a 34.7 domestic and a 65.3 international split. This has a Rotten Tomatoes of 83 from critics and 85 from audiences. An IMDb of 7.3 out of 10. And a Google score of 87%.
I feel like that Rotten Tomatoes score might be one of the fairest so far. Like, that feels pretty much perfect for this movie.
It's a little higher than I would have expected for this movie, but
Really? Okay.
After Age of Ultron, I guess people were just relieved to have, like, a movie that you could come out of and universally go, yeah, that was fun.
I'm very excited for the end of this podcast.
What you mean? End of next episode?
You know, that's the end of this week's episode. No, no spoilers, dude. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Oh no, that means it's either number one or dead last.
Oh god. So, Ant-Man. I didn't see this in theaters, so you know.
I did.
Yeah, I don't think I saw this one in theaters. I'm pretty sure my mom and I just rented it one weekend a few months after it came out on DVD.
I think from Age of Ultron onwards, I saw all of these in theaters.
This is one I may have seen randomly at school.
I would believe it.
No, in 2015, we weren't really doing school stuff because I was in college at that point. Maybe I just watched it on. Maybe I just watched it in fucking. Nope, I don't think I watched it until the leap to Endgame.
I've seen this movie a couple times. I've seen this movie a couple times since 2015. Not like as many times as I've seen like Guardians or an Avengers movie, but this might be my 4th time seeing it.
Okay, I think I've seen this movie maybe 3 times.
This was, I think, my 2nd.
Mm-hmm. As we get further into these, I've rewatched them less. Like I haven't rewatched anything from Phase 4. You know, like I don't think, at least. I saw No Way Home a couple times, but
yeah, there's a couple of outliers, but for the most part, I think it's the same with me. Where if I revisit them, it's not as often as some of the earlier Phase 1, Phase 2 stuff.
Yeah, and I think part of that might have been just because they started to come out so quickly that it was like, I don't need to really revisit them because they're about to put out another one. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's not like I'm waiting. I'm like, I'm jonesing for a Marvel movie.
It's like,
right
man,
now,
if I want to scratch the itch, if I wait 2 weeks, it's out on that Thursday night. I can just go.
Yeah, exactly.
I've rewatched from Phase 4 at least. I've rewatched Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Eternal, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I saw Eternals and Spider-Man a couple times, and I think that was it.
I think the only one I may have watched a second time from Phase 4 is specifically Spider-Man.
It's a good one to rewatch.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie. We'll get there in 3 years.
That's a neat trick you have.
It's that sense of yours.
Ant-Man, though, is not a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Spider-Man
is kind of referenced in it, though.
Then what movie did I watch?
my bit this week before I came up with the fucking the soul lock thing, the soul link thing, was I was gonna be like, all right, guys, ready to talk about Civil War? That was gonna be my bit. That like the bit would be like, I watched Civil War and not Ant-Man. You guys can laugh, you know. You're allowed to.
You just weren't gonna contribute to the episode at all, is what you're saying.
No, I the joke, it was gonna be the joke for like a second. The joke was gonna be like, all right, guys, who's ready to talk about Civil War? And then we would have had a bit, and then I've been like, no, I'm kidding. I watched Ant-Man. It's not like a crime for you guys to laugh, you know? Like, you guys can give a little chuckle if you want, you know? Maybe if you just feel like pity.
I think it's funnier to intentionally sandbag, you know?
Sorry, I was
talking about Ant-Man now?
I was taking a sip of my drink and mildly dissociating. I'm sorry.
So,
anyways, Ant-Man,
the end of Phase 2, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
I know people. Weird. I mean, at this point, right?
It's not weird at this point. But...
Phase 1 is the outlier.
Yeah, it's the only one that has.
Which is kind of insane to think about.
Mm-hmm. Hey, they were breaking that mold from Jump, and then they established a new mold, and they
when the mold is still fresh, would you really say it's breaking the mold? If it's still like malleable, you're not really breaking it.
I guess tearing it. I don't know.
You're just sort of reshaping it into a new mold.
When you haven't frozen the reality stone in that mold yet, is it really breaking the mold? I don't think so.
I think I just got a nosebleed. I don't.
So, what do you? Any pre-plot thoughts? I don't know, dude.
What the fuck are we doing on this one, huh?
So, hey, I really liked this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I watched it, and I think that Paul Rudd is really good in this movie, and I think that Michael Douglas is really good in this movie, and I really like Scott and Hank's relationship, and I'm really glad that they finally realized that Hank Pym doesn't need to beat his wife. If you're gonna tell his Ant-Man story, you can just not have him do that.
Hey man, look, hey, look. The helmet and the particles were just messing with his brain.
No, that's not a thing either in this. They don't have that. They just, you know, because Marvel Comics, they've done multiple reboots, and at no point have they ever thought, like, maybe we just make that not be a part of his character anymore. Like, it always has happened.
Really?
Yeah, like, it's always like, he's like, oh, they don't do it anymore. But Hank did beat Janet at one point.
So no matter the reboot, it's always he did beat his wife at some point.
Yeah, but now he's better. And it's like, no, just make it so he didn't do it. And the MCU learned that Hank Pym doesn't need to beat his wife. Well, and I'm glad that they learned that.
I'm glad that I got to live in ignorance while watching this this fun movie about the foils of fucking up your daughter's life by not being there or something.
Yeah, no, they definitely make Hank messed up in a different way, but I think a
But in
more
way that's
acceptable way.
at least somewhat sympathetic and
Yeah,
if not
just
relatable,
like
then at least understandable.
yeah, you're not just like this dude is. Why is he involved in anything? Why do they
He didn't
still
even
let
get
him
to
hang
build Ultron
around?
in this universe, dude. It's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah, not only did Hank Pym beat his wife, he also created Ultron in the comics. Hank Pym has never given anything of worth to the Marvel universe in the
It's
comics.
like he looked at Reed Richards and how bad Reed Richards consistently fucked shit up and said, "Yo, I gotta dethrone this man now."
Yeah. Like at least Reed occasionally does something good. Hank never does.
I don't know, man. Having a whole council of yourself is a little bit fucked up and egomaniacal.
I mean,
Don't
Rick
get me
does it
wrong.
in Rick and Morty. I mean, it's pretty cool, right?
All right, we're
Okay, now we know we've stepped a little too far in the wrong direction.
Once Rick and Morty is brought up, it's like, all right, let's reel it back in.
Morty, I got shrink to be my wife, Morty.
Morty, I'm being beat up by Bugs Bunny, Morty. LeBron's here.
Shut up.
Velma called the cops on him.
Yeah, Morty, LeBron's gonna dunk on me, Morty.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, Tyler! Why did Velma call the cops on him, Tyler?
Look, they I don't know why they went to him, you know?
Yo, speaking of cops, I'm glad this movie is very much an anti-cop movie. Fuck cops.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So, let's just get into the plot here.
20 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm trying to dial it back, reel it in a little bit, get us back on track. If you can't tell, I'm used to this.
How come the sleep-deprived one is the one that needs to
I don't fucking know.
everything?
29 hours, and I'm still coherent enough to be like, and we're putting the train back on the tracks. And we're not going
till we knock it off.
A cliff.
Trains have a lot to do with this movie.
So, we cold open to the Shields Triskelion under construction in
continuity.
1989, which is a year after Star-Lord was taken, right?
Okay.
Hank Pym, played by a CGI de-aged Michael Douglas.
And you know what? It doesn't look terrible, I don't think.
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't look as bad.
Worst.
He doesn't look as bad as Peggy did in Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And this was like the beginning of that kind of stuff. Winter Soldier and this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember this being a huge deal when they de-aged Michael Douglas and everybody was like, "Oh my god, like this is insane. Look what they did."
I mean, I say we, but I don't know if either of you've really seen it. We've seen the bad side of de-aging tech from like earlier on when Tron Legacy came out and did that shit to Jeff Bridges. So very clearly Disney was like, "No, we're not doing it that way. We're gonna fucking make sure it looks good." And they did.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Hank walked into this room to confront Peggy Carter, played by the inescapable Haley Atwell, who's in
love her.
3 of the 6 movies somehow.
Mad respect.
It's so good.
She's there to collect that paycheck.
Yeah. And she's gonna keep coming back.
I just don't know why. This is going back to Winter Soldier. Why didn't they just hire like someone older? Are there no old British ladies in the industry?
Continuity,
More
Tyler.
You could just like you could just be like, "Hey, does your mom want to like come and do a scene?" As like you.
That sounds
you're older.
Suspicious.
I don't know, man. I think it'd be fun if her mom was on set for a few minutes.
No, that's not what he meant.
How am I the one that has to be the straight man in the middle of all this?
Someone said, "Hey, does your mom want to come do a scene?" I'd be like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?"
So Haley Atwell's in this movie again. You know, she just keeps reappearing in these fucking movies.
So is the guy from Iron Man 2?
Yes,
the guy that plays
John Slattery.
He came back as well.
So Hank is mad that someone asked his mom to do a scene. No, he's mad because he found some of his Pym particles in the defense lab. Someone in this group specifically Mitchell Carson, has tried to replicate the particle. Carson, who I'm sure at this point is definitely Hydra. Like, he just has that air about him. For sure.
Yeah.
Mitchell Carson in the comics is also... He was a contender to be Ant-Man, but...
I didn't know that.
Something happened, and he got, like, a big scar on his face. You know how comics are.
I looked up Mitchell Carson, and the first line of his Marvel page is, he had killed his father when he was 15 years old, and many more after that.
Okay.
He was a contender for Ant-Man? I'm sorry. That's his first introduction. And
if you think about comic book Ant-Man, what we just talked about,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but that's Hank Pym putting on the suit that he invented, so, like, the standards there are underground.
That's true.
Like, just killing your dad at 15, a lot more, I don't know. You might be morally better than the other guy.
And many more after that begs to fucking differ.
How many people did Ultron kill in the comics?
It's a really great use of canon, in my opinion, to first of all show the Triskelion, and then second of all, bring these actors back to have this conversation. I think it really helps make this universe feel like a cohesive thing. Looking at them not fucking mentioning the Eternals fucking Celestial yet. It's that movie came out. When you reference things that happened previously, it makes the universe feel more cohesive.
Whatever his name was.
I don't think that he got a name.
He did get a name. He definitely got a name.
Oh,
I just don't remember what it was. So Carson makes some snide remark about Hank's dead wife, and he catches some hands for it. And I like that fucking Howard goes, "Don't look at me, you said it."
Yeah.
Hank resigns from S.H.I.E.L.D. and vows that no one will ever get the formula as long as he lives. Carson wants war, but Stark advises against it, because Hank isn't a security risk unless you make him one. In the present, Scott Lang, played by the Yakuza-loving Paul Rudd.
Shut the fuck up.
He's in prison. And he's fighting against a man way larger than he is. He distracts him, hits him in the face, and then they hug it out. This is peachy. This is just them giving their little goodbye ritual. Because it's Scott's last day in San Quentin Penitentiary. Which in the comics is a place where the Punisher was, and somehow also where Cletus Cassidy is in Venom 2. Don't worry about it.
Well, that makes sense. The Venom movies take place in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Which is where this movie takes place.
Outside to pick him up is his buddy, Luis. The scar on Scott's eye is a going away gift, and Luis still has his from a year ago, but Luis is the only one that ever knocked Peachy out. And keep that in mind. Luis and Scott used to be cellmates. And Scott asks him, he says, "Hey, how's your girl, man?" "Oh, she left me." "Yeah, my mom died too. And my dad got deported. But I got the van."
And that was when you knew exactly what this movie was going to be.
Yep. That is the tone setter.
Luis has hooked Scott up with a place to crash and wants to introduce him to some really skilled people. But Scott's not having it. He can't go back to prison for his daughter's sake. Jobs don't come easy for ex-cons, but Scott has a master's in electrical engineering. He'll be fine. And so he's working at Baskin Robbins, where a customer is asking for a burger, a pretzel, anything that's hot and fresh. He's like, "Dude, this is the Baskin Robbins. It's a rice cream."
Dude, and Paul Rudd sells it so well, too. And the guy that plays the customer is really good as well. But just, it's so funny.
The best part of the scene is when he gets called back to his manager's office and he's like, "Hey, can you take care of this idiot for me for a second?"
Yeah.
Just the casual way
Darby.
he delivers that is so fucking good.
His fake name Jack and the other guy's name Darby are references Paul Rudd's real kids.
Oh.
So before Scott can serve the guy this thing that is not served here, he's called into the manager's office. And I hate that the manager says, "Pull up some chair." I don't like that. They found out about his criminal history because Baskin Robbins always finds out. Manager Dell respects Scott's actions, but still fires him. He can't keep Scott on, but for the record, can let Scott grab a free mango fruit blast on the way out. Won't even notice it. And of course Scott does. But on his way home, you might not have noticed this, Shawn.
Okay.
He passes a sign for Pingo Doce. You know what that is?
No.
It is a drink, a beverage.
No way.
A beverage that is bottled in a plant
No way.
that Bruce Banner used to work at.
No way.
Holy shit.
That's right. I found that out in my research today.
Oh. Do you have like the actual receipts for this? Like the screenshot?
Not on me, no. But
Okay.
I can go and find it afterward. You know?
I believe him.
No,
He wouldn't lie about
I
this.
believe you. This is such an insanely deep cut.
Yeah.
I don't think you would have brought it up if it was fake. Like, knowing the name of the fucking soda is enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't make it Pingo Doce.
I don't.
My drink would be
I
something
don't-
cooler,
Yeah. I think.
like green drink.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think he made this up.
So back at his
But
place,
it's crazy. Sorry, it's crazy how Ant-Man.
X-Men.
Uh,
You're way too far
yeah.
in the future.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
two
Yeah,
very
yeah.
different things.
all right, guys. I went to Marvel Studios headquarters the other day and I saw some stuff, but I can't talk about it. So, but it's crazy how Ant-Man, of all these movies, is the one that's like, hey, life after like jail, like for ex-convicts, sucks. It's really not fair to them. And
It
I'm
is.
like, damn, I can't believe Ant-Man is the movie that's hitting on this for me. That's crazy.
So back at his place, he tells Luis, who's making breakfast, that he got fired. You know, Baskin Robbins always finds out, bro. And Dave, played by T.I., agrees. Also on the route is Kurt, played by David Dashmalchian.
Desmalchin or Polka Dot Man. if
Polka
you're
Dot
nasty.
Man, yeah.
Or the dude that nah, never mind, that's too deep a cut.
Okay. Kurt was in Folsom for 5 years and is a wizard on a laptop. Dave compliments Scott for the Vista job. Vista was overcharging customers, totaling to millions. Scott reported it and got fired, so he hacks into the security system and gives the millions back to the people it was stolen from, and then posts all the bank records online and drives the guy's Bentley into a swimming pool. We also get, I think, our second mention, second use of the word pussy here. So again, I'm on something, Shawn.
Oh, okay. You are?
Scott's on the Luis's game, and to get him involved in his new job, he learned about from his cousin, but Scott isn't down, even if it's the perfect mark for him. We see now a much older Hank Pym driving the Pym Tech, and we meet his daughter, Hope Van Dyne, played by Evangeline Lilly in a terrible wig.
Yeah,
And
I fucking hate her hair in this. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It
it
looks
sucks.
so bad.
and we get Darren Cross, played by Corey Stoll, who is a very obvious bad guy. Like, you look at
Yeah.
him and you're like, this is a fucking terrible guy.
Definitely not a great Marvel villain, but I think that
He does
Corey
what he needs
Stoll.
to for this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Corey Stoll does a really good job playing this character.
Cross invited Hank here for a special occasion, and in the background of this shot, you can see the guy with the 10 rings tattoo on his neck, who's also Hydra. I don't know how that ratio plays out, but we see there's some tension between Hope and Hank, and we also see that Carson's here. You know, how's retirement? How's your face? Yeah, he's probably been holding on to that one for a while. Cross starts by introducing Hank, but in the back we can see the model of Cross Technologies because, of course, Cross wants to fully take over.
Mm-hmm.
Cross said that he started researching a particle that could decrease the distance between atoms while maintaining density and strength. That sound familiar? Imagine a soldier the size of an insect, the ultimate weapon, an Ant-Man. Whoa.
Oh shit!
Bro, I can't fucking
Don't
believe
be.
it. What do you mean an Ant-Man?
Yeah, don't be crazy. That could never exist, right, Tyler?
No, not ever. But we do see some war footage from like the 60s
what?
of a little small guy taking out a bunch of guards, soldiers, shooting guns, taking out tanks. Maybe a tank that's also on a keychain, and that is in fact the same tank that we see.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I will never not get tired of watching people get knocked the fuck out by a man that is so tiny that you cannot see him.
No, it's
Yeah.
really good.
And he also would get reference to Tales to Astonish in
Yeah.
his little speech, which is the first appearance of Ant-Man, Tales to Astonish number 27.
Mm-hmm.
But Hank says that's just a tall tale. Either way, Cross has been inspired by this legend and has made a breakthrough shrinking inorganic material. He presents the Yellow Jacket. It can alter the size of the wearer for the ultimate combat advantage. And he plays a video that just screams supervillain, right? We see it take down helicopters, commit industrial sabotage, covertly assassinate diplomats. I don't know. That seems kind of fucking supervillainy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a Zack Snyder movie.
Frank is concerned because he is a smart person. Because of the implications of this, especially in the wrong hands, which it already is in. Hank says that there's a reason the suit was buried, but the only thing Cross worries about is how Hank ruined something they could have done together. That's why you're the past and I'm the future. I'm the Sada and you're the Turo.
Shut the fuck up. God damn it. God damn it. God
I'm
damn
the
it.
Korai and you're the Mirai.
God damn it.
Carson comes up and he makes a deal. Hope says that they need to make their move because they're really working together and Cross can't shrink a live subject. She wants to put on the suit to finish this, but Hank won't let her. Hope thinks they're out of options, but Hank says that he found a guy. Scott shows up to his daughter's birthday party, much to the chagrin of his ex-wife Maggie and her fiance Paxton, who says Scott wasn't invited. Paxton's a cop that could arrest Scott for not paying child support. He gives Cassie a gift and she opens it and it's like a little rabbit. And he's so ugly, but she loves him.
Yeah. Man, we've come so far from this little Cassie. It's weird to watch her in this movie.
Yeah, it's weird to watch her change twice.
Yeah.
Completely different people.
Almost like it's a different person, but no, it's still Cassie, but it, extensive changes.
Shit, where was I in my notes? Oh yeah, okay. So for two people who look pretty well off, they're really hounding Scott about this child support. And that they don't want him here. Why? Given his crime, right? His crime is public. People know about it.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't doing a bad thing, except for maybe the car thing. That was kind of rude. But what hits me the worst is fucking Paxton being like, you don't know the first thing about being a father. Like, what the fuck? Hey.
Bro, who do you think was this kid's dad before you?
Yeah.
They really make these two unlikable, dude.
How long has Scott been in jail?
3 years?
I think they said like about 3 years.
3 years? Okay, then all right. I was saying like I didn't know how long. It's very possible that he went to jail very quickly after she was born, but I wasn't sure how long that he was in jail.
I think the safe bet is she's like 7 in this movie.
Yeah. And if it's only been 3 years, then yeah. I thought it was more like 5 or 6.
She still recognizes him.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Seems fine for that.
Yeah.
So Scott calls Paxton an asshat. And Paxton's like, hey, watch your language. And I love Scott's lines like, what language? I said hat. Maggie wants Scott to get an apartment in San Francisco. That's fucking expensive. A job and pay child support. And then they can talk. They can talk about visitation. It's like, what the? You're asking a lot just for me to visit my daughter, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just be the person that she already. If you think about it, Maggie's actually driving him towards crime. Because there's no way. There's no way he can afford all this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, she thinks I'm the coolest and that I can get her all this cool shit. I'm fucking broke, dude. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Hard out here being a dad. But she says, just be the person that she already thinks you are. Which is a quote that'll come back later. At Pimtech, Cross shrinks Frank for his concerns over Yellow Jacket, which is really gross and disgusting.
Quote unquote shrinks him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, he murders that man. He doesn't shrink him. He murders him.
I mean, he shrinks his remains or whatever.
DNA
that
so
Yes.
fucking scrambled. He's got that bad egg texture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's fucking
he murders.
slime on the floor.
It's
At least
disgusting.
he wipes it up.
Like
No,
he's
wiping it makes it
immediately. He's like immediately, like just a supervillain. Like he just murdered that man. Like what the fuck did he think was gonna happen after this? Oh, he just disappeared. Who knows?
He'd get to finish his suit and sell his shit to Hydra, and then just be rich.
Frank
Well, he
walked into
doesn't
the
know about
bathroom
Hydra at this
and never came out.
Yeah, that's also true.
I'm pretty sure he knew about Hydra at this point.
I don't know. I got the vibe later on that he's like, I just found out about these guys. This is great.
No, I feel like this is a behind the scenes thing that they've been doing for a while.
The way he says it when later is like, these guys are with Hydra. Don't worry, they're different now.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they'd have to be after what happened in Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Yeah. As somebody who has seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they are not different now.
You gotta stop bringing up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's relevant.
You gotta stop.
It's relevant, dude.
When I finally cut together this promo, it's just gonna be you bringing up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're gonna think you're the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy.
I am the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy. I'll take that.
You're gonna admit to that?
I'll take that.
You don't want to say
There's
that.
worse things to be.
I'm taking that quote, putting it in there now. There it is.
That's okay.
Every
There are worse things to
episode
be.
after this until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stops mattering. Just be like, and our resident Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guy, Shawn AFK.
Next time it'll stop mattering.
So Frank's fucking dead. At dinner with Hope, he tells Hope that he chose his mentor and Hank poorly, and that Hope never had a chance, and that Hank never believed in her. They should be angry, but grateful because it forced him to grow.
Yeah, there's like hints of character to Cross. That I think they could have explored a little bit more. But I
wrote
don't know
this
that
in
they
my
needed
notes
to.
later, but Cross feels like the middle child, right?
Yeah.
The neglected middle child. He seeks that approval from Hank still, but he's still really bitter about it all.
Yeah. I think they give us enough that we can suss out all his motive. Like we can figure out like why he's doing what he's doing, but at the same time it's like not the most compelling.
I don't know if you have to kill people over this one, Darren.
Yeah, no. That's insane. But they give an explanation later.
So Scott is knowing how much money and how many days it would take for him to see Cassie again, which is like 377. He walks into Luis's apartment ready to hear about this tip Luis heard. And we get the first ever Luis story. I can't quote it word for word, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Basically, Luis heard from Ernesto, who heard from Carlos, who heard from Emily that there's a rich old dude with a big safe that looks legit, so whatever's in it has to be good. Long story short, old man has safe. And he's going to be gone for a week. The boys gather supplies and make plans for the heist, and Scott makes his way in a very stealthy fashion.
Yeah, it's cool that they give Scott these like parkour skills. It's pretty fun. And this is when I start to really get sucked into the movie because I love a good heist story. And so as like they're planning it out and it's kind of being executed, I'm like, man, this rocks.
And I'm just like, when did you practice this, Scott? Between your electrical engineering degree, some extracurricular on the side? What's going on here?
It's a versatile skill. Why haven't they hired this man?
Just hopping over like old brick walls. That's great. I can't even do that. What about you, Shawn? Can you?
Yeah, no. I don't think you need to ask.
Have you considered Paul Rudd might just be built different?
You know what? He does play the Yakuza games. He's a bit of a Chad. I love his Kiryu cosplay.
Oh God, that fucking pose.
So he finds that there's a fingerprint lock on this door. And he finds the stuff to open it. He uses like a ring and some stuff and he heats it up. It's pretty cool. And he finds the real safe. It's Carbondale, made from the same steel as the Titanic. So, I mean, it's hard to crack, but it doesn't do so well against the cold. Remember what the iceberg did? Like, yeah, it killed DiCaprio. It killed everybody. Did not kill that old lady. She threw that stone into the ocean or whatever. I never watched Titanic. I'm just quoting the movie.
It's a pretty good movie.
Scott knocks down the door and finds what looks like an old motorcycle suit. He leaves with the suit, but he's being watched by Hank with an ant with a camera on it.
I feel like this is so clearly a setup. Like, it's an empty room, but the suit is all nicely laid out on the table in front of you. Like, come on, Scott.
Look, in that moment, he's more pissed that he won't be able to, like, finally see his daughter again than anything. So I think he's allowed.
Yeah, you know, maybe you can sell the suit for some cash. You know, you can't leave empty-handed.
How much would you pay for that suit?
I don't know.
I'm curious.
I don't know. It's not really a good-looking suit. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I actually have an Ant-Man helmet on my shelf, but
You do?
I only bought it because it was like $50 on at a GameStop. It was on clearance. The GameStop were shutting down.
So if you were in the Marvel universe and you didn't know that this suit could like shrink, would you buy it for $50 if you put it on like eBay or something?
You like work? It was like a working suit. I mean,
It would work eventually, but you wouldn't know that. But you're just buying like a motorcycle suit.
Probably. I don't know. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. You know.
All right.
So back at Pimtech, Cross and Hope watched the latest test on a poor lamb, which, I mean, really just a villain. Really just a fucking villain.
They really wanted to hammer it home in the most obvious way possible, and I was like, if anything bad happens to this thing, I will root for you to die in the worst way possible. And you know what? Yeah.
He needs to nail down shrinking organic materials. Doesn't work though. He immediately brings in the next subject, but what is that gonna do? You didn't change anything. What is pulling in another sheep gonna do?
And when Hope is like, "Hey, I thought we were gonna test it on mice," he was like, "What's the difference?" And I was like, "Oh,
what a card!"
That's some super villain shit.
Scott decides to try on this motorcycle suit, and while looking at himself in the mirror, Luis and the boys come home. He presses the button in the glove and shrinks down way small. Me personally,
it's so cool.
I'd shit myself. Just like, what the fuck happened?
Honestly, after that shit, understandable.
Yeah. It's, oh god, I love that first shrinking sequence. I love when like the shower turns on or the top turns on or whatever, and the wave comes through. Like, people talk about Peyton Reed. They say he's like a talentless director that has no flair for anything, which I think is insane. Because I think that even if he isn't like, you know, he's not like fucking Rian Johnson or fucking Zack Snyder or whatever.
Yeah, he's no Kojima.
Like, he's not like an auteur or whatever, right? He's still like clearly has an eye for visuals, because if you watch like these shrunk down sequences, they're really great.
They're really good. But this is Scott's second test. As Luis turns the water on the tub and he washes out, throwing through some cracks in the floor. He's thrown to that rave that's always happening in that apartment building for some reason. Thrown to like a vacuum. A rat finds him and he jumps on a mouse trap and gets flung out the window onto the hood of a car of Garrett Morris. You know what Garrett Morris is?
Nope.
He's a pretty funny guy, pretty comedic actor. Okay. But he played the first ever live action depiction of Ant-Man.
Oh.
In an SNL skit back in like 79.
Okay. Huh, cool.
Hank tells Scott to keep the suit and he'll be in touch. But what does Scott do? He immediately starts trying to return the suit.
Yeah.
And gets arrested for it.
I do the same thing. I'd be like, nope, you can have it back. I'll bring it to you. I don't want it.
Yeah. Imagine you get shrunk, you have that whole bathtub fucking horror. Meanwhile, some old dude's whispering in your ear like, well, you better watch out for the water, bitch.
Yeah.
Better trial by water, as they say, a bitch.
No one's ever said that, Hank.
I would return that to sender immediately.
So I could like FedEx this to you, or
You want to meet at like McDonald's?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do like the Facebook Marketplace thing where I meet you in the parking lot of like a Subway or something, and then it's like, hey, you got the goods, and then I just throw it at you, and then I leave.
So Paxton arrests him. He says that they were really rooting for him.
Not him.
Yeah, not him. Scott's lawyer comes in, and it's Hank. Hank talks about how Maggie was right about Scott. At the moment things get hard, he always turns back to crime. Because of Maggie, it's actually her fault. Hank gives him two options: spend the rest of his life in prison, or go back to his cell and await further instructions. We also find out that Pym is the one who tipped Emily off to tell Carlos to tell Ernesto to tell Luis to tell Scott to steal the suit. In his cell, some ants bring Scott the suit and start counting down from 10. I'm hoping this was like 10 minutes and not 10 seconds.
Yeah, he put that fucking suit on quick.
A really quick suit change.
But also, I think one of the things that these movies really did well to, like, to do Ant-Man, right? Like, to get him onto the big screen, was they did not forget about the ant part of it. Yeah. It's not just like, he gets really small. We also see some really cool usage of small little bugs.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, I mean, outside of, what, this and Ant-Man 2, he doesn't really do the ant thing.
Oh yeah, no, but he's not like a main character in a lot of the stuff outside of.
He should always just have one with him, you know, like just one.
Yeah.
That would be cool,
yeah. Russo brothers, you fucking talentless hacks.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he fucking keeps like 3 of each of them, like he's his own Noah's Ark, but for the ants. Just like, all right, gang, now's your time. You 3. Bite his ass. Get him right now.
Get some real talent, Russo brothers, like the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I swear, when we get to Multiverse of Madness, we're going to need to have words.
So,
oh yeah, Tyler and I have lots of words about that movie.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what they are.
So Scott escapes the jail and hitches a ride on an ant on a car in updrafts, and Scott is he's getting a little sick. It's not like a pleasant ride. During the sequence, though, he does run across a newspaper with the headline asking who's to blame for Sokovia. So,
oh shit, the first reference.
Hank does not want him to throw up in his helmet, though, and Scott passes out. When he wakes up, Hope is standing over him. She's been watching him sleep the whole time because the last time he was here, he did steal something. When he tries to step onto the floor, it's covered in giant tropical bullet ants, and I don't like that.
Yeah. This is a just like a terrifying scenario, because can you imagine like how scary it would be for you to wake up and find an anti-vaxxer watching you while you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, already.
Like, that's
right then and there, I'm like, get me the fuck out.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to be here with you. I don't want to be here with you.
And then she brought like 10,000 fucking of the most painful ants in the wored.
Yeah. I'd rather have the ants than the anti-vaxxer, to be honest.
I feel like the entire scenario, all that is missing is like some weird helmet that has a fucking like clamp built in that just kills you, and it's a fucking saw trap room.
You know what I don't like about Ant-Man is that there's always like a couple hundred ants always within his vicinity, and I don't like that. That creeps me out, dude.
I'm gonna promise you.
Sometimes they're fine.
I promise you there are a couple hundred ants within your vicenity right now. And you just
I don't
know.
like it. No, I'm aware of them.
And making him aware of it probably doesn't help.
When they show the ants inside the technology and stuff, I'm like, ugh, no, get out of there.
The ants come out of the car dashboard, and I'm like, that's too fucking real. Stop that.
Shit, where was I? So Scott makes his way to the kitchen where he overhears Hope telling Hank they don't need him. She can do it herself. She's actually the one who called the cops on Scott. What a card.
That makes sense.
Hank says that he's been watching Scott since he burgled VistaCorp, especially since VistaCorp's security systems were supposed to be unbeatable. Scott asks how Hank makes the ants do stuff. and they can do a lot of stuff and can even lift up to 50 times their weight. He also uses electromagnetic waves to stimulate their olfactory nerve center, aka their sense of smell. And Scott takes him to the basement to show him some stuff. He says 40 years ago, he created a formula that altered atomic relative distance. The suit runs on this formula. It was dangerous, so he hid it and started his own company. He took on Cross as a protege, who was a genius but became sus of Hank when not being told everything. He became obsessed with creating the Pym particle, and when Hank wouldn't help, he got the board to vote Hank out, with Hope as a deciding vote. Cross was getting too close to the formula, so Hope came back to the team and tried to stop him. Hank wants to give...
It's so petty.
Yeah, it's really
so petty what she does. Like, she kicks him out, and like, this guy is clearly not a good, like the way she explains it isn't, oh, after I realized how much of a dick Cross was, I was like, this isn't a good idea. The way it's explained is, oh, after I realized how competent he was, I got scared. It's not like, oh, I didn't realize he was going to be this asshole. It was, I didn't realize he was going to be able to do bad things with his asshole-ishness. You know, it's like, come on, Hope.
Yeah. Hank wants to give Scott a shot at redemption and help him be with his daughter again. No more stealing shit, except Hank wants him to steal some shit.
Yeah.
That morning, Patton gets a text from his partner, Gail, that tells him that Scott's lawyer is really Hank. And I like that Cassie's like, are you trying to find my daddy? He's like, yeah, I am. Hope you don't catch him. Damn.
She knows what's up.
I love Cassie.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for Quantumania.
Cross is still running lab experiments, but this time the lamb is in a little box and it shrinks successfully.
Yo!
And then he dumps it like a fucking psychopath. Sky's gonna need to break in, steal all the tech, delete the data, or else Cross and Carson are gonna unleash chaos upon the world. Scott says that they should call the Avengers.
Which is the best response that anybody has ever given.
Completely understandable response considering the Avengers exist in your world.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's like, oh, I love that. I love that line. It's very good.
But Hank is like, hey, I spent all my life keeping this tech away from a Stark. I'm sure as hell not going to hand deliver one.
I love that he hates Tony Stark for no reason. He's such an asshole.
Well, no, he has a reason. His dad was the fucking worst, which, Tony would agree with him on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a very good reason, though.
But then you also get to see Tony grow up into some sort of an asshole. And sure, he's Iron Man now, but like, come on. He's
I'm trying to be nice about. I'm trying to throw you guys a bone with Tony Stark, and this is what happens. God, I can't fucking win.
I'm saying that Howard Stark is the fucking worst. What more do you want?
That's true.
He is the fucking worst.
True. I'm trying to be like, hey, he judged Tony based off his father, which isn't fair.
Yeah, it's not. Hank's also an asshole old man, and he just needs time to realize that.
Fuck Hank Pym.
Well, no, his wife can't do that anymore. She's fucking gone, dude.
For now.
So this isn't cute tech like the Iron Man suit, he says. It could change the texture of reality. Plus, the Avengers are too busy dropping cities out of the sky.
Damn, setting up conflict. I wonder where that's gonna pop up.
Hank can't just send the ants because they need a leader. Scott thinks it's ridiculous, and when Hope comes in insisting she wear the suit, because they're running out of time real fast, they get into a very heated argument that ends with a very stern "No!" And then they both kind of go off to sulk. Hank can't wear the suit because he's worn it for so long, and Hank tells Scott about how Hope used to look up to him, but now she only looks at him as a disappointment. Scott can still earn that look of heroism in Cassie's eyes. It's not about saving our world, it's about saving theirs. Hank needs Scott to be the Ant-Man.
Oh shit.
We get this training montage that involves like instant shrinking and unshrinking through a keyhole, being able to punch hard enough while small to knock someone out but not kill them, and learning about the ants and controlling them. They also plan the heist as well. We also meet Anthony. Anthony.
Yo, my favorite.
Not for long.
Rest in peace.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
We learn that Hope.
When they're going over the heist, by the way, sorry. They show the security guard that we're gonna see later in the movie, and that dude's got a big ass gun.
He does.
Like, that's not like a normal security guard gun. He's got like a fucking rifle.
Don't worry about it. We learned that Hope started training in martial arts after her mom died. She knows Hank isn't telling her the truth about how it happened and knows her mom didn't die in a plane crash. Hank warns Scott not to screw with the regulator or else he'll go subatomic. The state of entering a quantum realm where all concepts of time and space become, as Lysithea would say, irrelevant, as you shrink for all eternity. Scott and Hope get a little closer, and we can see Hope can control the ants to a very scary degree.
She's kind of goated.
Scott goes to talk to Hope and tells her that the only reason he's the one in the suit is because he's expendable. And Hank trusts Hope and loves her as well. Hope didn't...
Which is a very sobering thought. The whole, like, I'm only wearing this because if I die, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
oh. Hope didn't know Scott had a daughter when she called the cops, but now she does. She tells him to think about Cassie and focus when trying to control the ants, and he gets him to spin a little coin. Back inside, Hank tells the two about what really happened to Janet. She convinced him to let her go on a mission with him as the Wasp. Hank regrets letting her go, but in 1987, separatists hijacked the missile silo and launched a nuke at the US. The only way to get inside was through the solid titanium. Hank was going to shriek between the molecules, but his regulator was damaged, so Janet did it without hesitation. She went subatomic to deactivate the bomb and disappeared. Hank spent the next 10 years learning about the quantum realm in order to bring her back. And he says, I lost your mother. I didn't mean to lose you too. Very tender moment that is then ruined by Scott. But he completes his training and outfits the ants with some sort of equipment. And it's time for the final phase of his training. Scott must stealthily retrieve a prototype of a signal decoy that's in one of Howard Stark's old storage facilities upstate. Turns out this old warehouse is now the Avengers Complex. Hank and Hope tell him to abort the mission, but Scott says that it isn't like anyone's home. But, Hank is worried about he's going to lose his suit. On the roof, flying down, comes the boy, Sam Wilson, as the Falcon. Sam heard a sensor trip, but he doesn't see anything until he does. It's okay, you can't see me. I can see you. Hey, I'm Scott. Scott tells me who he is and that he's a big fan. Sam smirks his name Ant-Man. And Scott tells him that he needs to borrow some tech to save the world. He'll return it, at least. They get into a fight and Hank's freaking out. Scott takes on Falcon and even uses some of Hope's moves, which she gets a little look at. Eventually, he grabs the tech and grounds Sam by disabling his wings from the inside of the wing pack. And fucking Sam goes, it's really important to me that Cap never finds out about this.
I love that they've managed to fit Falcon into this movie. I think this scene is awesome. I love that. I love that Scott does like the leg thing that all the female superheroes do at some point.
The Hurricanrana shit. So Scott completes the mission, and he gets his first compliment from Hank. Celebrations are in order, but Hank walks into his living room to find fucking Darren Cross.
It's so fucking scary.
Darren is obviously here to kill Hank, because no one walks around in a black leather half coat with leather gloves.
Yeah, the gloves are like, what are you doing? I half expected him to open the door and see him like putting out stretch wrap or something, or not stretch wrap, like plastic sheeting.
Yeah. But he says that Pimtech is about to become one of the most profitable organizations in the world. And while Darren explains how, Scott is controlling the ants to hide the plans. He invites Hank to come and watch it. It's like, but before he leaves, he goes, what'd you see in me? So Hank says, I saw myself.
Damn.
Why did you push me away? Because I saw too much of myself.
Damn.
Hate to see it.
I do think that's a pretty good scene between the two of them.
Yeah.
They're both very talented actors.
I just wish Cross wasn't dressed so obviously murdery,
Yeah.
Well,
Might as well have
been holding a gun.
the particles are messing with his brain at this point. So,
He has a fucking Zweihander in his arms. Hope wants to call off the heist because it's obviously bait. And she gets a call from Cross, whose first thing is, "Hey, where are you, bro?" He knows, but
he plays it off really well, though. He comes across as just having like a really bad day, and like I think he's pretty convincing that he is like pretending he doesn't know that she's there.
But he starts saying how he just saw Hank and he wants to triple security, put like fucking laser meshes on the grates or something. Scott thinks of going through the water main because he can't act security yet because of the water pressure. But they'll need someone to lower the pressure because Hank and Hope can't do it. They'll be right next to fucking Cross. So they gotta expand the team.
I do find it funny that Hank is so gung-ho about, no, we are not doing that shit. And it's like, who else are you gonna ask, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Where's your backup?
I think it's funny. I like his like, no, and then we can just see them and it's like, oh yes, the Wombat crew.
Yeah. Cue Luis, Dave, and Kurt. Thank you for the coffee, ma'am. It's not too often that you rob a place and then get welcome back. Because we just robbed you. The Pems aren't instilled with confidence, but Luis is excited about being in the system. Scott shows him the suit, and even though Daddy don't get scared, Luis still freaks out.
Yeah, he like chases him around while he's shrunk.
Yeah, he sees him halfway through.
The part, like the shot of really tiny Scott on his shoulder is really funny.
Yeah,
him
like
just waving
I've
me
never
like,
noticed
over
it till
here,
this
man.
watch, but it's just so fucking stupid to look at. After giving them half a Xanax and explaining science to them, Scott's crew falls asleep. Scott thanks Hope and she says that she went from despising him to almost liking him.
Oh shit, we're forcing a romance.
Get some sleep, Scott, which is a classic I really like you line. Scott can't sleep though, so he goes to visit Cassie. Before the heist, everyone goes over their role. Dave is the wheels on the ground, Kurt is the eyes in the sky, and Luis is just so excited. He thinks Scott's girlfriend's really hot and he wants to whistle to blend in.
I should do a whistle, he says. Dude, honestly, I'd watch a whole Disney Plus show just about these people. Like, Scott doesn't even have to be in it. Just the adventures of the Wombat crew.
Inside, there are plenty of armed guards and body scanners. But Luis gets in. He also whistles, it's a small world.
He does.
Scott hops into the water main, and Luis makes his way to the pressure valve, but another guard's in there. Unfortunately for Luis, this guy is the boss. But fortunately for him, Luis, he fucking knocks his ass out in one hit.
He just gets his ass. It's so good.
Luis lowers the pressure so Scott can get in his ant raft and into the extraction pipe. He's in the building.
So I want you to imagine for a second, guys. You're working, you're just having a normal day at work, whatever. Like they don't pay you enough, right? Rent in San Francisco is insane. And then you walk into the bathroom and a giant swarm of flying ants comes flying out of the fucking toilet.
I'd scream and run the other
and
direction.
into the vent.
Yeah. What are you Tyler, what are you doing?
I turn around and leave. I pretend like I didn't see it, but I'm going home.
No, I know I saw it, and I am not going anywhere near that shit. I go home immediately.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? I know my lane. I'm going home.
This job is not worth it.
Dave spots a Crown Vic outside the building, which is the most used car for undercover cops, because Paxton and Gale are in there, and they see PM go inside. PM?
Is he French? PM. My name is Hank PM.
He could be. I don't know his lineage.
I am Hank PM.
Some ants fall on the guard next to Luis, who punches that guard as well, and gloats before calming down when Hope walks up. Tim is getting confronted by Paxton, so Dave takes their car to drive them away. When he gets back into the van,
funny.
He accidentally hits the horn, giving Paxton a clue about who's behind this.
The fact that the horn is La Cucaracha gets me every time.
Hope places the signal decoy, but Cross sees her walking out of the server room. We think, maybe he'll say something this time. He doesn't. He only asks her how he looks. But Cross uses a 12-point face scanner to enter the room and locks Hank and Hope in there with him. We also see Carson and the Hydra guys arrive as well.
Oh shit!
Scott makes it to the server room and starts messing things up. He fries the servers with ants and makes his way to the particle chamber. Just as it's very obvious, Carson's working with Hydra. And Hank decks Cross in the face. Scott sets the charges.
It's so good because when he punches him, you can see the Hydra guy in the background wince like he's having a flashback to when he got hit. It's just so funny. Like, I don't know. I noticed that this time. I hadn't noticed it before.
It's a lot of the little things in this movie that add up to just funny bits.
Yeah, I noticed it this time where I was like, what the fuck did he just... And I had to I rewound it, and I was like, oh my God.
He places the charges with a 15-minute timer, gets in position. Scott barely makes it through the laser grid as Kurt and Dave get arrested, but when he goes to grab the yellow jacket suit, it retracts. Cross is looking at him. Cross had a suspicion about the other suit, so now he wants to know who this new Ant-Man is. Who did Hank trust more than him? Which I don't know why he's asking, because he knows.
He's putting on a show. He's putting on a show,
He knows a lot more about Scott than we thought. As he puts the yellow jacket suit in a suitcase. He sold the suit for twice the price thanks to him, knowing they successfully infiltrated the Avenger facility, which isn't an easy task. But actually, if only Falcon's there, it's probably kind of easy.
No, the shrinking thing is important too.
You know what? You just caught him off guard,
Yeah. Well, he wasn't prepared to deal with the fucking man that can shrink.
Sure, dude.
I believe in Captain America, dude.
He's off like, what's he doing at this point? No one fucking knows.
Not telling Tony about
his parents.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for next episode.
Next time.
Yeah, it sure is.
So he has the Hydra 10 Rings guys draw guns on Hank, but stops him because he has to be the one to do it. Hope gets a gun of her own, and now it's a standoff.
Dude, I love it when that's happening. The Hydra dude is like, oh, here we go. Like, he's been in this situation before. He's like, I couldn't just get this shit and leave, could I? So I'm in the plot of a movie. God damn it.
It's never easy being a bad guy. Cross says that he went to Hank's house to kill him, which was very obvious, but Hope was there, and he wasn't ready to kill her back then, but now he is. Scott breaks out, and he and Hope start beating people up. Hank gets shot, but don't worry, it's not fatal.
Yeah, it's like in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Darren has Scott at gunpoint, but Hope is stopping the guns from being fired using ants.
Yo!
Carson grabs the new particle and leaves, and we have not seen him again.
Yeah, he gets away, doesn't he?
Yeah, Carson is just
out
out there.
Well, I mean, there's a movie coming out in February, so maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Louise pulls the fire alarm, allowing for Dave and Kurt to escape. Darren wants to get to the roof and orders guards to kill anything that comes out of that vault. Scott beats them up and gets shot at while we see like cool visuals of him running around that Cross Tech mini model.
Mm-hmm.
And Louise saves him. Like, are we the good guys? It feels kind of weird. Before Louise leaves, he remembered to grab the people he knocked out.
Which is so good. Oh.
Hank's fine and is going to use that tank that's on his keychain. The one we've been seeing the entire movie.
Dude, it's so funny when Paxton is like, he's trying to give a report and already everything is like so fucking crazy. And then he has to add on, and there's a tank at the end of it. Like,
yeah. Paxton has been running back and forth between this fucking front lawn of this building since he got here.
Yeah.
Paxton's calling in backup while Hank and the tank bust out the upper floors. Darren gets in the helicopter and sees a swarm of ants coming at him. He grabs a gun and starts shooting. Somehow, he hits Anthony and Anthony dies.
Yeah, Anthony doesn't just die. Anthony disappears. Like
he's dead.
That's the second Anthony I've had to say goodbye to. Rest in
Oh.
peace.
Oh,
Sweet prince.
oh.
At least chronologically, this is the first.
In total, though.
In total,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Scott makes his way into the helicopter. So, did you think you could stop the future with the heist? It was never just a heist.
What?
We see Pimtech fucking implode into nothing.
It's so fucking good. The hard cut from it wasn't just a heist, too. The entire building explodes and then implodes in on itself, leaving nothing. So
okay,
good.
There's no way, like, those Hydra guys in there are dead, right? They're gone. There's no way.
Nazis.
I mean, they are Nazis. Or are they? The Tin Ring guy still throws me off. Like, is he with Hydra too? Is he double dealing in the evil crime?
They're working with Nazis. I don't know what else to tell you, my guy.
Yeah, that's not very surprising.
About this.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love how that thing like sucks in on itself. It just it looks so good.
This guy gets slapped out of the helicopter, and when he pulls himself back up, Cross is in the suit. People just change real fast in this universe. They fight inside of a suitcase, and also some music plays, all while being followed by Paxton and Gale. They fall into a pool and ruin a late night girl session until Cross is smacked into a bug zapper.
Yeah.
Paxton shows up. Somehow he knew the fall of the suitcase. And Scott tries to explain, but gets tased. When he wakes up, he tries to tell Paxton to turn around and gets yelled at until they get they get a call at Paxton's address because there's a weird man there.
Dude, it's... first of all, I love the yellow jacket suit. I think it looks really good. But sorry, yeah, keep going. There's a line you're about to say that I just think is funny.
I don't have it written up. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Yellow Jacket has Cassie, and she's like, "Are you
I
a
want
monster?"
Yeah.
Eventually she's like, "I want my daddy," and he's like, "I wanted your daddy too," or something.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's so funny, unintentionally.
Scott,
I get it though.
Shimmies the helmet on. Oh, I'm tired. Scott shimmies the helmet on, confronts Cross, and forcibly turns him small. And they duke it out on a train set. Nice visuals here, especially.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Thomas the Tank Engine. The people who hold the rights to Thomas the Tank Engine said that he could be in this movie as long as no other characters were attached to the train, like none of the other Thomas characters.
Yeah.
And as long as Thomas didn't do anything evil. So, here we are.
Yeah, he didn't. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he did break that cop car, but that's not evil.
That's not evil. That is the opposite.
So, it's a cool looking fight, especially when we zoom out and we just see things knocking around a little bit. Scott throws a toy train at Cross, and Cross shoots it with the lasers and it explodes, and I'm just assuming those lasers make anything explode. The crew shows up. Nothing's gonna stop us until they see a shit ton of cops. Like, back it up.
Just back it up. Back it up.
Back it up.
Just back it up. Just back it up.
You backing up?
Just back it up. Back it up. Just back it up. Back it up. Just keep backing it up.
They actually turn, an ant giant, and then Thomas. Paxton tries to run in and gets ran over by the giant ant. That's a messed up looking dog. Paxton comes in.
I don't know why that line hit me the hardest.
The line hits me every time.
Anything in this fucking movie.
How do you think it's a dog deal?
Look, it's nighttime. The ant does not have like a pale coloring like the crazy guys.
Just watch the building implode,
Also, I'm pretty sure he's like trying not to
freak the fuck out.
Yeah. So like mentally he's just attached and he's like, weird
That's a dog. That's a dog. Dog. That's a dog.
I just go home. I'm just gonna go home. Scott tries to decommission the suit, but it's made out of titanium. You know what that means? He's got to shrink between the titanium molecules to stop Cross. So he goes subatomic, just like Janet. He shrinks and shrinks and shrinks while hearing Hank's words from earlier. and he sees a flash of someone.
Whoa,
Who is
wait,
it?
what?
And he
Wait,
keeps
wait,
hearing
what?
Cassie's voice. It's the only thing that he can hear. He shoves the beginning disc, I don't know, the big boy disc,
The big boy disc, yeah.
into his regulator, and it comes back from the quantum realm. Cassie runs to hug him, and Scott gets away while the cops come in. At the Pym house, Scott doesn't remember how he came back from the quantum realm. And Hope walks Scott out, and Hank wonders if his wife is still alive. He gets up and opens the door to find Scott and Hope kissing. When did this happen? Nothing's happening. Whoa, hold on. Something's kind of happening. Well, if that's the case, shoot me again.
I love, and fucking Scott turns around. He's like, I can't believe you would do this, Hope. Like this, God, why would you even do this? And he starts to walk away, and Hank's
He's like, yeah, I gotta go.
He's like, Scott, yep, you're full of shit. Yep. I really love Scott and Hank's relationship in these movies.
Oh,
I
their
think it's
dynamic
really
here is
great.
fucking great.
Yeah.
I think it's part of what sells this movie.
Yeah.
So at Paxton's house, Paxton says that the captain wanted a report of the night Scott got out of jail, but the camera circuits got fried. Paxton says he processed Scott correctly. None of that matters because Cassie did her first cartwheel. She's also feeding the giant ant, and Scott gets a call from work. In a parking lot, Louise needs to tell Scott just the facts. The gist of the story is that Sam is looking for Scott. That's the gist of it. You also get a Stanley cameo as a bartender who agrees that the writer chick is stupid fine. And then that's the end of the movie. Our mid-credit scene shows Hank showing Hope an advanced prototype of the wasp suit. His wife never got to use it, but he realized that they were working on it for her.
I really like this look for the wasp suit. I do not like the look of the wasp suit in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I think the one in the Quantumania trailer looks a lot better, so I'm hyped for that. But I still think this is the best looking one.
I've never looked at them close enough to know the difference between what they look like.
I do not remember how it looks in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, they take like all the color out of it. Like it's a much darker yellow. It's almost more gold.
And then post-credit scene in a scene shot by the Russo brothers. Sam and Cap have Bucky's metal arm in a vice.
You can tell.
Yeah. This would have been easier a week ago. They can't call Tony because they don't know if the Accords will let him help. They're not alone though. Sam knows a guy. Ant-Man will return.
Yeah. I don't know. I never really like it when the post-credit scenes are just scenes from another movie.
Yeah.
So when I was watching this one, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that this is literally just ripped from Civil War.
I feel like there could have been a much better way to do this, like Ant-Man will return stinger. If you had taken the scene of Sam on the bench talking, and just being like, "Hey," perfect. And then just have their actual conversation and have it be him awkwardly trying to explain who the
also
fuck
the
this
lady
guy is.
The writer chicks says they get a guy who climbs walls and swings.
Whoa! Wait! He does
jumps.
What? Wait, he does
everyone can
what?
jump, lady.
Wait, because what if?
Come on, we know what that is.
Wait, what if Spider-Man might show up?
We know who she's talking about.
Wait, is it Batroc the Leaper?
Oh, Batroc. No, she's obviously talking about Carly Morgenthau.
Oh no, we have to do that show at some point, and I have to be sad again.
God.
But that is the end of the Ant-Man. Pretty good movie. Pretty funny movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that in sync.
Where we starting, Tyler, this week? Where would you like to bring us first?
Let's start with the swear chart.
Hell yeah.
This is a little segment we'll have to call
language.
Where I track all the swears because I hate myself. This is a monumental feat.
Oh my god, you were not kidding. Holy shit.
I've had to expand the swear chart because Ant-Man swears a lot in this movie. So the last record holder was Guardians of the Galaxy with 23 total swears. This one has 23 soft squares by itself.
Oh
And
my god.
6 hard squares. 29 in total.
Cinema.
It's so
Cinema.
zoomed out that we can now see the beginning of Phase 4. And
Hell yeah.
that makes me feel weird.
I mean, we're getting there eventually. We might as well start looking at it now.
That makes me feel kind of weird. Like I'm getting old.
Time is constantly moving forward, ever changing. You can't stop it.
All right. At 151, Howard Stark says,
You just kicked your ass full size. You really want to find out what it's like when you can't see him coming?
At 345, Luis says,
Damn! Hey!
At 715, Luis says,
Damn, they find out who you are?
Half of these are going to be him alone.
Yeah, going, damn.
Damn.
At 749, Dave says,
You mean you're a pussy?
At 1639, a double whopping here, Maggie and Scott say, or Scott and Maggie in order.
Maggie, I tell you this as a friend and as the first love of my life. Your fiance is an asshat.
He's not an asshat.
Watch your language.
At 2122, Luis, as Carlos, says,
Yo, man, this guy's got a big ass safe just sitting in the basement, just chilling.
At 2309, Dave says,
Damn.
At 3255, Garrett Morris's character says,
What the hell?
At 3658, Paxton says,
Where the hell did he go?
At 3728, Hank Pym says,
How safe
Just get on the damn end, Scott.
At 4221, Scott says,
Who are you? Who is she? What the hell's going on? And can I go back to jail now?
At 4423, Scott says,
Absolutely. My days of breaking into places and stealing shit are done.
At 4430, Hank says,
I want you to break into a place and steal some shit.
At 4616, Hank says,
I spent half my life trying to keep this technology out of the hands of a Stark. I'm sure as hell not gonna hand deliver it to one now.
At 4909, Scott says,
Damn, that was a good speech.
At 10226, Scott says,
You son of a bitch!
At 10318, Sam Wilson says,
Appreciate it. So who the hell are you?
At 10345, Hank says,
What the hell are you doing?
At 10638, Hank says,
How the hell did you get in here?
At 11023, Dave says,
Well, hey, everybody, just kick back and relax a little bit, man. We know our business. We broke into this spooky-ass house, didn't we?
At 11054, Dave says,
Damn.
At 11121, Luis says,
Oh, that's amazing. That's like some David Copperfield shit.
At 129, Luis says,
Oh, damn it! That guy.
At 14437, Hank Pym says,
Scott,
Yeah.
you're full of shit.
Oh, yeah.
At 14652, Luis says,
Yeah, and this dude sounds like a badass, man.
At 14711, Luis says,
And I'm like, damn, I got all nervous because I keep mad secrets for you, bro.
At 14715, Luis says,
Did the badass tell the stupefied writer chick to tell you, to tell me, because I'm tight with that man, that he's looking for him?
and at 15015, Hope Van Dyne says,
It's about damn time.
Yo, they really like the word damn in this movie.
there are a lot of instances of the word damn. Only one bitch, though, you know?
As somebody else who likes the word damn, I respect it.
No, I respect it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just, it's very interesting.
All right, it's time to talk about the connections. As little small board wheels its way in here.
We're just wheeling the board out and it's rusty, so you can kind of just hear it squeaking.
Oh yeah, I definitely have a squeaky wheel sound effect on it. So, of course, we got the Shield Triskelion from Winter Soldier, along with Peggy and Howard. Howard can also go to Iron Man 2 because of the actor. We got Hydra as well as the Ten Rings tattoo. So I'll tie that back to Iron Man 3 or something. I haven't thought
Iron Man 1.
We get the real
Real in quotes.
Real in quotes. I haven't thought. I just finished my notes today. Okay, let's look at it.
It's to the Iron Man franchise is the point.
Yeah, we'll go to an Iron Man.
Yeah.
The last time we saw the symbol was in 3. That's what I'll do.
It's fair.
Of course, we get the Sokovia headline on the newspaper. We get more references to Sokovia, with dropping cities out of the sky. Avengers Complex. Sam Wilson's here in a cameo role. Fucking Hydra. I said that already. Bucky at the end. That's about it. You know where all those go.
The scene lifted directly from the next movie,
Yeah.
tying into the next movie.
The scene in which I will gift the entire scene, put it onto the thing, and then tie it back to this movie.
I think you should just take a screenshot of just
it's
Bucky
gotta
with
be
his
a
arm
GIF.
clamped.
It's gotta be the entire scene. I'll use sound
out
too.
To do less work, my man.
No,
Tyler's dedicated.
No. I need more work.
I respect it, genuinely.
And so on the as the little mini board rolls out on the big board here, of course this ties back to Winter Soldier, one of the Iron Mans, fucking Age of Ultron, stuff like that. It all makes sense when you see it. So let's talk about where we rank this movie. Shibuya, why don't you go first?
All right. Well, I had fun with Ant-Man. Probably more fun than I remembered having, just because I don't know. I just enjoy Paul Rudd getting to have fun, and his chemistry with Michael Douglas especially really helped this movie when it did not need the 2 hours it was given for runtime. I think a lot of the scenes were just fantastic, so that even when it sort of lagged at points, I was still invested, because they'd drop a good quip and I'd chuckle and I'd move on. Not the best movie that we've seen, but I don't expect it to be. It's a solid 7.5, and it's going in 6th place, just under Avengers 1 and above Iron Man 2.
Okay. For me, this is a very fun movie, a pretty funny movie, thanks to Paul Rudd and Luis. And I like that as something I didn't really bring up during the notes, is that this is a world in which Ant-Man, the original, has already happened, and he's just a thing that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. First, like, sort of passing of the mantle kind of thing. And it's a good heist movie. Darren Cross, terrible villain, but he's very well acted. And Hope could be better. She could be less petty about all this stuff, but it's okay. She comes around, I think, maybe. I don't know. She can be really petty in Ant-Man the Wasp, too, as well. She's gonna be
I'd
really...
rather not remember Ant-Man and the Wasp before I have to.
She's going to be real mad this guy didn't invite her to fight the Avengers. But other than that, I think it's still a pretty solid movie, which is why it's going to rank 5th on my list, below Winter Soldier, above Iron Man 3.
Okay. So I have it the highest, but not by much, actually. It's kind of funny. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this movie. I wasn't bored for any of it. I just have a fun time. I really like heist movie structures, heist stories in general. So, yeah, for me, this is a 4 out of 5. And I put it at number 4 behind Iron Man 1, but above Age of Ultron.
That's crazy. You have Iron Man 3 that low.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
That's fucking crazy.
We've been over this already.
It's a good Christmas movie. It's fun.
Yeah, sure.
I will be watching it in like a week to celebrate
it's the best
holidays.
MCU Christmas thing.
You know, I'm really glad that you guys love that movie.
All right. Well, I think that does it for us.
For us. Next week, or next time, we'll see if the podcast continues.
Yeah, this will be our make or break moment.
Yeah. It's a big day.
So
I have not rewatched that movie since it was in theaters.
Oh wow!
I watched someone react to it on YouTube like maybe 2 weeks ago.
You know what? I should do that. Live vicariously through them and then rewatch the movie and see how I feel.
Yeah.
So until we cover Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Shawn, where can everyone find you? I mean, sorry, Captain America Civil War.
We're going back, baby!
And the Winter Soldier are both in this next movie, but that's not what the next movie is.
Until we cover a story that is about the both of them, kind of.
Yeah.
For the most part. Shawn, where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Shawn_AFK. Everything that I do is on there.
Shibuya.
You guys can follow me Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, just at Shibuya Gato. Look it up, you'll find it.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Tyler Rims, probably retweeting Anime Women or playing Pokemon slower than everyone else or talking about Rush Hour, the series, because it's a good movie series. You should all watch it. And yeah, other than that, you can follow MCUnhinged on Twitter at MCUnhinged. You can also find us on Anchor at anchor.fm/MCU-unhinged. You can also find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also if we're not in a place that you listen to, come over to the Anchor page, copy that RSS feed, plug it into your podcast app of choice, and we will pop up there regularly for you. And yeah, so next time, Captain America, the third one, the Civil War. Shit, I don't know why I'm blanking on it.
I think Captain America, the third one, is the title they should have gone with, honestly.
Shrek the third.
We finally get to see, who was right. Who between Team Cap and Team Tony.
I'm not saying anything yet.
I'm struggling not to say shit yet.
We finally get to see the boy, Spider-Man.
Yo!
Have some interesting thoughts about that. And
we're all going to be controversial next episode, aren't we? We're all going to have our takes that somebody's going to yell at us for.
Uh-oh, Shibuya.
I can feel it. Nobody's
boy.
coming out of this saying
Shibuya doesn't know.
Oh no.
MC Unhinged will return. In Captain America Civil War. I almost forgot it again.
Captain America, the third Avengers movie.
Captain America Civil War. I like the southern accent on it.
I mean, it's Civil War.
It is, you're right.
What's your bone to pick with me?
Okay, so in a Discord that we're in, right? Okay, all right, in Totsi's Discord, but just for the context of the people in the podcast, it's a Discord that we're in.
What did I miss?
Somebody was asking.
I know where you're going.
Somebody was asking about a series of Pokemon Nuzlocke that Tyler did with somebody else, and was asking for links to the VODs. And Tyler was like, yeah, those Nuzlocke were crazy. 2018 was wild. Tyler, we didn't meet until 2019. You didn't do those Nuzlocke until 2021. What are you talking about?
Shawn,
Why are you saying that you did those in 2018? You didn't.
Shawn doesn't know that I met Tatsu before him. It's actually pretty
No,
crazy.
you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. I know you didn't. I know you didn't because I was the one that suggested to Tatsu that you guys should do something together because I thought that your energy would be fucking chaotic together. And so
Was that you?
you can't gaslight. That was me. Tatsu was
I
like,
must
I've been
have
thinking
matured
about
older than
making
I thought.
contact with somebody else. And we met in 2019, Tyler. Okay? Do you want to know how I know that?
Yeah, give me the what you think.
Let me ask you a question. Tyler, what's your earliest memory of me? Because I know the answer. You've told me.
I remember chatting with you in Discord about the Bros podcast.
But
we had
no,
some pretty deep conversations
okay, so
about
first
Kingdom Hearts.
of all, the Bros didn't start their podcast until 2019. Second of all, the first time that you remember talking to me, because
I must have
you
met
told
them
me
earlier
this
too. That's crazy.
You
know, time really is 2020 fucked everyone up. Time's a flat
because
circle.
you've told me this was the first thing you remember was me bitching about The Rise of Skywalker after the 6th time I went to go see it in movie theaters.
Well, that
okay.
Okay.
Shawn,
I'm gonna stop
Shawn,
you
Shawn, wait. Shibuya, wait, before you get there, I have a question for Shawn.
Okay.
Wait. Shawn, what's the name of the series of books with a family of bears? What is it called?
Oh no.
What's it called?
What setup is this?
The Berenstein Bears.
Wait, say it again? You kind of cut out for me.
The Berenstein Bears?
Oh, okay. That tracks.
Bro just got
Shut
Mandela.
up.
You're from the other universe.
So that's why he saw it 6 times in theaters. It was good there. Fuck. Okay.
No, it wasn't. It was bad. It was still
Why
bad.
the fuck were you in theaters 6 times?
Because I knew that Star Wars wasn't going to be in theaters again for a while afterwards, so I wanted to go see it as many
Shibuya,
times as I
after
could.
like time number 3, he was in the Discord like, I don't think I like this movie.
For every viewing, he went through one of the 5 stages of grief, and then the 6th one was just like, I got nothing better to do. It's a Thursday night, whatever.
But this is proof that you didn't make those Nuzlocke in 2018. And also, we could just go to your fucking YouTube channel and look at when you uploaded the VODs.
I upload them late. You know, no one's ever on time.
3 years late, Tyler.
When's the last time the bros have uploaded a VOD?
Don't deflect. Don't deflect.
Okay, but where's the fun in fact checking?
Fact checking will ruin this podcast.
No, I'm being if I'm being gaslit, I will fucking fact check. He's actively trying to gaslight
Too bad
me.
you're not being gaslit. Me and Tatsu had some fun Pokemon times.
Bro, gaslighting? That's a weird word. What, you made that up.
We played Pokemon Black 19 times and we didn't win.
I'm gonna okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm looking up in the bros Discord, Nuzlocke and Tatsu. Damn it, you didn't post it in there. Damn it. Fuck. I'm trying to find proof.
There's
I can't.
no proof.
I can't find proof. It's not working.
Because you're just wrong, Shawn.
I'm not wrong. This happened in 2021. Hang on.
Shawn,
Can I see when you make a Twitch account?
Hey, sometimes we need to accept the fact that COVID fucked us all up, and our perception of how time passes has been permanently fucked. 2020 was 2 days ago. What do you mean it's December 7th of 2022? Yeah. I'm fucking collapsing in on myself.
If I go on Twitch, can I look at when somebody made a Twitch account?
If you're looking at your channel, I think so.
Because I don't know that Tyler had his Twitch account in 2018.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think you've said in the past that you made your Twitch account because of the bros.
Ooh.
I can't remember if that's a fact or not, so I'm not going to claim that it's a fact, but I think you said that.
That's interesting.
You know what I bet I could do? Oh, you know what I bet I could do? You know what I bet I could do? I could look for the tweet that you posted.
You know what else we could do? We could talk about the fucking Marvel movie people are here to listen to us talk about.
Who gives a shit? Here, right here. Pokemon Black randomized Nuzlocke Soul Link with Tatsumaki. It was in December 30th, 2020.
Check again.
You did not just delete that tweet.
Oh fuck yeah! Tell me you deleted that too, lad.
No!